As a family, we've been farming as a whole for about 300-ish years. And my great-granddad moved here as a tenant farmer to Latchett's Farm, which is just down the road, which is why the ice cream's called Latchett's Farm. And then my granddad got offered a tenancy here because it's just across the fields in 1959. He then managed to buy it as a sitting tenant for obviously a reduced rate, which is what started us as a family owning land, basically. 1987, the Great Storm flattened everything. Grandad was clearing the woods, tidying up all the trees that are blown down, etc., and thought there must be a way to make money out of this. So whilst he was clearing the woods, he cleared a walkway through the whole place. And that's what started it. So Grandad really started diversifying back in the 80s. And then once a few people came and saw the bluebells and had their walk or whatever, he saw a need for a cup of tea, a bit of cake. So the tea room started with my auntie. And that's kind of how it stayed right the way through the 90s, early 2000s. I then started Latchett's to try and get more value out of our milk, our dairy herd. And that was in 2019. And then from that first summer, the winter, the trade basically just stopped. The footfall just stopped coming because the sun went in, which is what started the soft play. I thought, what else can I do to keep people coming to the farm in the winter? So we put the soft play in. And then COVID hit that following spring. So that managed to do 7 days that whole winter without being shut down. So then we thought, shit, what can we do now where people still come, there's still something for them to do, but they're outside. So then the crazy golf started. And then COVID obviously hung around for a bit. So we thought, what else can we do? So we started doing maize, sunflower picking, pumpkin picking, everything which was outside that could keep bringing people, but for an affordable price. It was all sort of cheaper stuff. It's all land-based, but it brought people through the gate. Yeah. And then Ray took this place on this year.
Well, my aunt and uncle wanted to retire, and the opportunity came up for me to be able to take on the tenancy of the building. And we've just, with all the changes, because obviously Grant's businesses have come along, you've got Latchett's, you've got the play barn, but we've still got the existing campsite and nature trail. There's a lot of different markets of people here. So the Pantry's come along to try and cater for all the existing markets which are coming to the farm, but also put our own sort of brand and stamp on the farm as well. We had meetings with the family before we opened to try and get an idea of what the ethos of Heaven Farm is. We really want to bring it as one unit, so one destination venue. And the family ethos was very much the countryside, farming, leisure and food. My passion as a veterinary surgeon was always high welfare standards of food, and obviously being brought up in Sussex and from a farming family, I like the idea of just using produce from Sussex and supporting the local farmers. So that sort of developed from there. So we've put the pantry sort of into sections really. So we've got a cafe menu running, which is still caters for the daytime markets, the children, the young families, the coffees and cakes for the people going on the walk. And we are opening the Sussex Farm restaurant beginning of June, which is going to be the sort of flagship restaurant that sells all of the Sussex produce and does more restaurant type meals. So we'll do evening supper clubs, Sunday lunches. We really want to make it about family dining for Sunday lunch, so everything's done in platters, and make it a bit more of a dining experience that really celebrates the produce we have from Sussex farmers. I did butchery courses when I was a bit younger, when I was thinking of setting up the restaurant before, and I liked the idea of using different cuts of meat, because I think you go to a lot of restaurants, it's always the same cut, and therefore a lot of the animals being wasted. We also saw that as a veterinary surgeon doing rotations in abattoirs, that quite a lot of things that the British people won't eat. But you can, it's still good cuts of meat, and it's still good quality meat, so we're just trying to utilise as much as possible.
It comes down to educating people, doesn't it? We've always been very bad, especially as an industry and farming. We don't educate people where their food comes from, and we don't market it very well. We don't put ourselves out there enough to actually show what we do as an industry.
Well, we obviously use Latchett's ice cream in all the puddings, that goes without saying, so that's very local. Grant's now rearing some beef cattle for us for the beef, which are in the fields just on the farm as well. that's the main produce we get from our farms, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And then we've got all the pork, so we do breakfast here as well, so obviously bacon, sausages, we pork belly in the ciabattas, all comes from the neighbouring pig farmer just up the road in Shelgate. Lamb is all from Ardingly, eggs, Ditchling and Ardingly, and then all the vegetables come from, it's a selection of Sussex growers, but they're a bit further afield because there aren't many vegetable growers in Sussex. So we use a company that sources them from various vegetable growers, and when they're in season, we get those in as well.